Alright, AskReddit. High schoolers. What do you want to major in? People who majored in that field. What are the pros and cons? International relations. Pro. Very interesting material, especially if it's a topic you like. It's similar skills as history degree, but more marketable. Con. Be prepared to work in New York City, DC, or abroad, because that's pretty much where all the IR jobs are. Also can be a pro. Depends on how you feel about living there. Not a bad job market, but not great either. It can be tough to break into. Use as many connections as you can land to the job. I majored in international studies, but close enough. Tips. Study abroad as much as you can. Internships every summer. Learn a foreign language. Specialize in a region of the world, preferably Asia or the Middle East. Ideally, match your specialization with your study abroad experiences and language choice. Example, if you want to focus on the Middle East, study in the Middle East/North Africa and study Arabic. Pros. Flexible. More so than poli-sci. You can get a lot of the political science jobs with international relations, but can also market it to businesses, schools, and nonprofit. You can do this with a political science, but in my experience, having more international focus tends to draw more attention. Interesting, relevant subject matter. Makes studying abroad much easier credit-wise. Cons. You'll probably end up working abroad or in DC. You'll most likely work for the government or a nonprofit. Although businesses might take you, especially you have honed your language skills, meaning the pay isn't that fantastic. It's so broad it's hard to narrow down what you want to focus on. Job. Forestry or park ranger. I work in a private forestry. Overall, it's a good field. Obviously, you want to work in the wilderness. I enjoy drinking around and seeing some really beautiful country. The hours are good, just early. Earning potential is generally good, but not amazing. Timber markets can fluctuate very hard and make job security not the best, depending on who you work for. I'd say just be absolute sure you love working outside, rain or shine. Days where you're working on a steep-ass slope, crawling through thorny underbush in the rain can be really taxing. On the other hand, good days make it feel like you've got the best job in the world. Ooh. So, you said you work outside, see beautiful scenery, work in the rain, crawl through bushes, but can you explain more of what you actually do? Like, what is a typical day for you? I've been interested in forestry for a long time, but I've never really been sure of what I could do with it. Let's see. Sent you a PM. Edit. Sorry. Sadly, a lot of these people these days don't understand or have a negative perception of forestry, so I was hesitant to ramble about it. My experience is a bit different than usual. I work for a very small company, so I ended up doing a little bit of everything, whereas most foresters work for a government entity. Forest Service, BLM, State Forestry, or a timber company and specialize in one or two areas. Here are some common duties. Cruising, if necessary. This is estimating the volume of timber in the forest using data collection and statistics. Unit layout, finding and marking property lines, which is often not easy in the middle of nowhere. If no monuments exist, they need to be surveyed in. Evaluating axes? I think that's spelled wrong. If necessary, designing roads and or obtaining permission to use a neighbor's property. Protecting sensitive areas from logging operations such as streams, wet areas, unstable areas, and certain wildlife species. Permitting. This is highly dependent on the state you're working in and its forest policies. Logging bidding. Finding loggers, showing them the project, evaluating bids in regards to costs, timelines, experience, equipment, and availability, etc. Timber marketing. Timber mills are all different and specialize in processing different species and different sizes of timber. Working with mills to find maximum value in terms of price they're willing to pay and the cost it takes to transport those logs. Contract management. Check on the project to make sure all the above is getting executed properly and timely. Reforestation. Finding seedlings, supervise the plant process, decide on any herbicides that need to be applied to slow growth of competing species. This is the industry side of foresting. Wow, that sounds really boring. Geology. Edit. I'm sold. You will forever have to hear some iteration of geology rocks and other geology puns by people not in geology. But seriously, it's an incredibly fun major with lots of field trips and camping. Also, a lot of hard work with chemistry, physics, math. But still fun. Job prospects are pretty decent, too. I respectfully disagree. Geologists subject themselves to far more puns than non-geologists could ever dream up. Most people don't know about genus and skish. The geologists abuse them endlessly. Of course, I'm totally complicit in this. What? Those are some words I don't know. You don't know schist about geology, do you? Genius pun, dude. Okay, I guess those are types of rocks. Pros. Field work / being outside all the time, becoming a rock pun master, drinking a lot of beers, crazy professors. Cons. Sometimes you drink too much beer. Ha, just kidding, there are no cons. Con. Every horizontal surface in your house will become covered in rocks. Edit. Yes, this includes your bed. Would you call that bedrock? Oh, that's great. That's enough about geology. I don't care. Cosmology / astrophysics. Astronomer her. Good for you. Warning, it is really hard and incredibly competitive at every level for little pay compared to what you get in industry. That said, I rather love what I do and I can't believe I get paid for it. So ask if you have any questions. Edit. For those interested, here's a good post to get started on what astronomers do and how to become one. Some of my personal pros and cons from further downstream. Pros. Getting paid to increase my level of understanding about the universe. Teaching is a joy, as is writing, and my colleagues are incredibly wonderful. And when it works, wow. There's nothing cooler than knowing something in the universe no one else knows. Cons. Stuff doesn't work a lot, so everything takes way longer than you think it will. I don't like programming, but really need to do a decent amount of it, and sometimes the people I work with can be incredibly frustrating. Amazingly, not always completely different people from those listed under the pros. A few of the perks, according to my astrophysics professor. When astronomers get together, they drink. The higher altitude of most observation means getting drunker is cheap. The drinks help you forget how little you're getting paid for this. Economics. These replies are a gold mine of insight. Pros. Very interesting and diverse classes. I took everything from history of economics thought to economics of terrorism, along with more analytic classes, of course. You have a wide array of careers to go into afterwards. A lot of what you learn is applicable in real life. Cons. You better be good at math and English. It's both writing and math intensive. You can't just be creative or analytical type of person. You must be well-rounded. Good luck. I have done everything from finance to accounting to owning my own business with my degree. Well, I really need a drink of water. Aerospace engineering. Great. No, get ready to question why you did this to yourself for the whole time you're in college. That paycheck will pay off, though. Piggybacking on this comment, some of your coursework will be insane, but stay on top of it. Also, keep your nose clean and go after jobs that require security clearance, any level. You will probably not be a millionaire in this field, but you should be very comfortable. Source, aerospace engineer, 6+ years, graduated from Auburn University in Alabama. Got a BS in aerospace engineering. Didn't go into the field, but it has basically allowed me to do whatever I wanted. Every job or post-grad program I have applied to, I got an offer. It was a very challenging degree, but opened doors to things I never thought possible, including an offer from JPL. People I graduated with do all sorts of things now. Fighter pilots, engineers at huge aerospace aviation companies, executive business owners. I did architecture for a while, and now I run a tech company. When people hear that you studied rocket science, they assume you can figure out anything. Couple that with outgoing personality, and you'll be unstoppable. I completed a degree in 5 years instead of 4 because I want to experience college life. Go for it, but know that it is super challenging. Also, only about 15% of the people who matriculated actually stuck it out. I guess that's started it. math. It's become very proof heavy and theoretical. It's almost like another language. I just found some 400 level algebra analysis notebook and flipped through them. I can't believe that I could ever understand that stuff, let alone successfully complete 20 something credits in pure math emphasis. The coder that sits next to me at work couldn't even grasp that 0.9 repeating equals 1. Mathematics students here. Here's my input. Pros. There seems to be many post-college options if you learned programming as we like to do here. Whoa. If you like challenges and love math, it can be very enjoyable at times. Not that many people want to just study mathematics in college. Most take CS or something like that instead. Thus, you will have classes that very few people attend. The ones for math students, which can be quite fun compared to the huge lectures that have hundreds of students attending. You also get more personal attention. Cons. It's hard, often really hard. If you were good at math in high school, being good at math in high school helps, but does not guarantee that you will do well with your major in math, especially if you are used to just memorizing a lot of stuff. No matter how much you like math, some of the material will be boring. Math requires a lot of precision. Thus, there are so many little details to remember about everything that can make a beautiful theorem seem quite boring. And those little details must not be missed, ever. Mathematicians tend to be very strict. I have classes where you can absolutely not redo a test, even if you are sick that day. And details matter. You will lose points on tests even if you understand the general idea but miss details. You'll have very little free time. There is a ton of homework in a lot of classes. I just had 2 big tests today and an exam yesterday. In many majors, you will just have lectures. In math, you'll have lectures in class to practice mathematics. My roommate literally has half as many hours as I have that she has to spend at school and very little homework, while I also have a lot of homework, which is often quite challenging. There is a lot of information to learn, and unlike many other majors, math requires a lot of practice. Can be a pro depending on that person. It is nothing like math in high school. It will be a whole different kind of mathematics. Like one of the professors says, mathematics is the art of proofs. There is a lot of proofs and you have to think about math. There's a lot of proofs and you have to think about maths very differently. Overall, I am very happy with my choice to study mathematics, but it's not for everyone. That sounds like a lot of work. Mechanical engineering. Been doing it for a few years, graduated in 2009. Great pay, constant need for work, lots of options, fun work. Cons. There is also a lot of competition given how popular engineering is right now. College really doesn't prepare you like I think it should. You need real life experience before you'll be truly helpful. There's a lot of these.